Life for All presents Daily Food series, The Word of Life, the Fellowship of Life, and Living Stones for the Edification. The Epistles of John and Peter. Book 7. Hastening the Coming of the Day of God by Pedro. Week 3. The Prophetic Word and the Judgment of the Scoffers. Friday. God's Judgment. Read with prayer. I will raise up from them a prophet like you, from among their brethren, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak to them all that I command him. Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 18. The Apostle Peter exposed false teachers. 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 1. And scoffers, chapter 3, verse 3. In a broader sense, they are the same people. Those who do not accept the word of the apostles as the word of God ends up mocking and scoffing at it. The Thessalonians' attitude was different. They received Paul's words not as the word of men, but as it really was, the word of God. Thus, this word, which they accepted and believed, worked effectively in them. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 13. Our teenagers, as well as the entire church, have experienced this today. Those who hear the word and remain passive, not believing it, suffer loss by themselves. Those who mock and scorn contaminate and harm others, causing them to stumble. With such people, the Lord himself will settle accounts. Matthew chapter 18, verses 6 and 7. The scoffers also mocked the promise of the Lord's coming, saying, "Where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation." 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 4. Their argument is that everything remains unchanged. However, Peter responded, "For this they willfully forget, that by the word of God the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of water and in the water, by which the world that then existed perished, being flooded with water." Verses 5 and 6. The world has not remained the same as these scoffers claimed. Many things have happened since the beginning of God's creation. Before the creation of Adam, there was God's judgment on the creatures that inhabited the earth and joined Satan's rebellion. On account of this judgment, the earth was submerged in water. Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. Furthermore, as Peter said, in the time of Noah, God once again executed judgment on the earth and its inhabitants through water, by which the world that then existed perished, being flooded with water. Peter also exhorts, "But the heavens and the earth, which are now preserved by the same word, are reserved for fire until the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men." 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. The ungodly are those who stand against the word of God, mocking and scorning it. The word of God is a very serious matter. God will call to account those who do not believe his word. Those who mock and scorn will one day receive God's judgment. It was God who told Moses, "I will raise up from them a prophet like you, from among their brethren, and will put my words in his mouth, and he will speak to them all that I command him." Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 18. That prophet is Jesus. But this verse also establishes a principle for any prophet sent by God. Those who are raised up to speak the word of God cannot speak their own words. They can only speak what God commands. Therefore, the word of the apostles is the word that God commanded them to speak. The Lord will call to account all who do not believe and those who mock and scoff at his word. Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 19. The enemy of God fights for our hearts by using the lusts that are in the world. 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 4. We do not have the strength within ourselves to fight against worldly passions, against the lusts of the flesh, against the lusts of the eyes, and against the pride of life. They are stronger than we are, and beautiful words have no power to free us from these lusts. Only the Word of God is capable of leading man to be a partaker of the divine nature. Immersion in the Word makes us partakers of the divine nature, gives us strength, and frees us from the lusts that are in the world. The Word also keeps us firm against the snares of Satan, who often uses people to confuse us in an attempt to prevent the seed of the kingdom from growing in us. Therefore, we need to immerse ourselves more and more in the Word and inculcate it in our hearts.